welcome to snowy Syracuse, New York for a pivotal ACC women's basketball matchup between Syracuse and Boston College. What was win or learn is now win or win for these two teams as they enter the home stretch of ACC play. That's coming from Syracuse head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack. And as you can see, these two teams, 9th and 11th right now in the Atlantic Coast Conference standings, on the outside looking in as they're trying to get those coveted ACC tournament first round buys. We now welcome you into the JMA Wireless Dome with Michael Gross. I'm Karl Winter, and Michael, since these two teams last played each other, it's been a little bit rocky. They're both hungry for a victory.
Yeah, when you talk about Boston College in a really good game today.
Well, one of those for Boston College is their leading scorer, Dontavia Wagner. She will not play tonight, so they'll need players like JoJo Lacey to step it up on the offensive side.
Oh, and Karl, we got a good one today. Syracuse women's basketball, Power 5 squad.
Calvin, it's the final non-conference game for both of these teams, looking to build momentum into their conference slates, and they get to do it in front of roughly 6,000 school children here in the Dome today.
Should be a really fun atmosphere. It's 10:30 in the morning, but the kids here do not care. If the Great Danes want to pull off the upset today, they're going to need a couple of their players who have been out with injury to come up big.
Kayla Cooper and Morgan Haney were instrumental in their conference tournament run last year. They both missed the first 11 games of the season this year, but Haney getting the start today, and we'll see Cooper as well. We'll keep an eye on how much they do get to play in this one.
Good afternoon and welcome to Firestone Fieldhouse on a beautiful, picture-perfect Saturday afternoon here in Malibu, California. My name is Karl Winter. I'll be bringing you all of the action this afternoon. As for the final time this season, we have a home game for Pepperdine women's basketball as the Waves take on the USF Dons here in Firestone Fieldhouse. Guilfoy. Here's a shot from Engie, rips it, and in the long-range goal, Skylar Engie from distance. And it's 4-0 Pepperdine with just under 37 minutes gone. Skylar Engie scores from long range. There are 42 seconds left and no timeouts. They burned their last two, but Manteca, as we've talked about, they have some big play players, and one of them is Blake Nicholson. So I imagine they'll try and get him the ball. And Wyatt rolls out. He's under pressure. Wyatt's still rolling out. Wyatt down the field. Has a man down there, and it's caught. And breaking a tackle is Allen. And Allen breaks away. And Allen is into the end zone for a touchdown. Manteca erupts, and I don't see any flags down. And the Buffaloes have taken the lead with 28 seconds remaining. Fair, fancy footwork, and a fancy finish. Deasia Fair, we are not worthy. She has 18 now in the game with a pretty finish off the glass. Her dad loves it. Syracuse loves it. They lead it 71-60. Here. Howerton scores, and that's 5 for Jake Howerton. And they go right back to him, and he gets it done. Cal's had no answer for the sophomore. 14-13 Waves. Here's Tierney. Tierney floats it, and in! Nico Tierney with the lob shot, and the crowd goes wild here at Raleigh Runnels. What a reaction from the crowd as that thing seemed to happen in slow motion.
Yes, biggest of the day.
Gherkin finds the floor again. Haley Gherkin, 3 aces in 4 points. Lemoyne leads it by 6.
Wow, not much to say there. It took Montoya by surprise in the back row. She looked, watched it hit inside, and Gherkin's got the stuff right now.
Another ace for Gherkin, and you can't see it from this angle, but there is a ton of movement on that ball, and Assumption cannot handle Haley Gherkin right now. Now Messino 90 feet away from the first run of the game, and that's a shot and a base hit into left field. And Pepperdine on the board as Messino scores. Landis thinks about a double. He's going to try and get there, and he does. Quentin Landis with an RBI double, and Pepperdine leads it 1-0 here in the bottom of the third.
Gotta shoot it.
Has to chuck up a deep 3, and he hits it! Can you believe that?
I'm not sure that was
So deep, they called it good. Nguyen the other way.
Bambrick, the senior guard for Pepperdine, just 2 of 12 from the field today, but always a scoring threat. Here's the kick out. Anderson, open 3. Got it! Megan Anderson stays hot. She has 17 now. And it's a 4-point lead for the Gauchos, and the Gaucho faithful. Can she get another? She can! Callista Reyes with the brace. The super senior with the right-footed strike for Pepperdine. And let's make it 7 for the Waves with 65 minutes gone.
Rice handling it now, gets an on-ball screen from Lewis, a good screen, and skips the pass across to Fair. Woolley, pull-up jumper from the elbow, leaves it short, but Lewis cleaning up on the offensive glass, something that she does so well. Syracuse leads the ACC in offensive rebounds per game.
Daniels, end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. A one-play drive. Nico Remigio with the catch. 34 yards from Daniels to Remigio, and that'll make it a 34-7 game. That was very quick. So with 3:27 to go until the half, the Monarchs make it a 4-touchdown lead.
Dwyer pushing the other way. Lachey Dwyer right at the defense, but tossed away by Elena Rice, who now has a chance for a transition bucket. Rice kicks out Fair, squares it up, fires all 3 for Deasia Fair, finding the bottom of the net, and Syracuse back out to a 12-point lead.
Another chapter of a storied rivalry in the books, and the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays come into the JMA Wireless Dome and take down the Syracuse Orange by a final of 11-9. Welcome into our Cuse.com post-game show, joined by former Colgate goalkeeper Samantha Croston. I'm Karl Winter. And Sam, what a close game it was throughout. This 11-9 final margin was the biggest lead either team had in this game.
What'd you see out of the defense working with Mark to just make things really miserable for the Crusader attackers?
Well, Nick Kakemo and Landon Clary, I think their job description is make life miserable for the opposing team.
Elena, your roles changed a little bit. Last year, you were more of the 6th woman coming off of the bench. Now you're in the starting lineup. What's that been like as your role has changed to start alongside Tisha and 3 newcomers?
It's been an amazing ride. You know what I mean? I've worked hard.
We saw the layers of these guys. Running the alley right there was Leo, but also Thompson with the stick skills and the close-in accuracy that he has. These are the 3 guys that shined for the Orange. Leo with a couple of goals today. Spallina, 5 goals and 2 assists, as you mentioned. What'd you like out of him? Evan, like Sam here, you're a former goalkeeper yourself. For the 2 guys in the cage, Will Mark and Tim Marcial, they've got a little bit different styles, but both of these guys have been putting their teams on their back. What sets them apart?
Well, you hit it on the head. They're very, very different, and that really is what separates them.
Thanks so much, Evan. That's former SU goalkeeper Evan Malloy. He'll be the analyst for today's game on ACC Network Extra. And we're getting close to that opening face-off of that game, but right after a quick break, Samantha will give you her key players for both Syracuse and Johns Hopkins as we head into the 61st meeting between these 2 teams.
Here's Syracuse head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack, her first season with the Orange, the Syracuse native, and has led them so far to his 14-9 overall record, 11-3 here in the Dome as they've protected home court well. Woolley fires away and hits. 3 threes for Syracuse in the first quarter. They lead it 11-2, and Coach Burnaby McNamee for Boston College wants a timeout. Syracuse firing away from 3 and hitting here in the first quarter. They jump out to a 9-point lead behind this Georgia Woolley triple.
John, I know this is a lacrosse pregame show, but you're looking a little tan. I know you just got back from Super Bowl 57 in Arizona where you spent a week. So last thing I want to ask you is what snacks or appetizers are on the menu for you later tonight when you watch the big game?
Oh, man, that's a tough question. I heard Cameron Ezer, who called the game with me against Vermont, is cooking up some chicken parm. We were just with him in Arizona, so I think that's what I'm looking forward to later on.
Thanks so much, John, for joining us, and have a great call on the game today. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys.
And right after the break, as we get close to the opening face-off, Ian will give his keys to the game and his players to watch for both teams. It's almost time for Holy Cross and Syracuse.
You do those 2 things on defense, I think you'll be okay.
All right, well, that's all for us here in the Newhouse Studios on the Cuse.com post-game show. Johns Hopkins takes the victory 11-9 over Syracuse. For our producer, Ryan Nelson, and Samantha Croston, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Karl Winter.
Have a fantastic afternoon.